women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself, but what the hell else are you going to do about it? Trust me, if sitting around feeling sorry for yourself cured this shit, y'all, I'd be golden. I did that for several years and it don't get you anywhere. But this I like to talk about this very specific topic every few months because it's so important and it really reared up today because I have a lot of health issues and I do miss work. I'm very dedicated. I'm very damn good at my job. I really am. That's not bragging. It's just a fact. I'm amazing at my job. And I have a new boss, and this is not a slam to her. She's young. She's very ambitious. She wants to make a name for herself, and I get that. We we have a very I don't want to say a difference of opinion. We have very different styles in how we do things. And I kind of bumped up against her today and it upset me. And I got to thinking, this is just dealing with work. It's just another emotional aspect of dealing with this health mess that most people don't think of. So let's talk about the emotional impact of chronic pain. According to Psychology Today, 100 million Americans deal with chronic pain. Now, there's no hard data regarding the suicide rates. However, people who suffer from chronic pain are thought to be twice as likely to commit suicide as the healthy population. And the problem with chronic pain is it's the physical aspect actually is, at least in my experience, it's a fairly small part of it. You can you can compartmentalize that to a large degree. You get used to a certain level of it. Granted, once you're at that level, it doesn't take much to push you over the edge, but you do get used to a level of it. But it's emotionally, it's devastating. And I don't think most people realize that. The ubiquitous they say that a good day for someone like me is like you having the flu body aches. Well, how productive were you the last time that you had the flu? Probably not very. And that's a good day for me. Sorry, I should have pulled my hair back, but I like it down. Anyway, um, a flare, which is what I'm dealing with. I've been in a flare now for like 2 weeks. It's driving me up the freaking way. I've ever heard a flare described as a full body migraine. Now, you either get that or you don't. If you've never had a migraine, I know that's completely meaningless. If you have had a migraine, you're thinking, holy crap. And yeah, it really is that bad. I get extraordinarily light and smell sensitive. My clothes will hurt. I I, I joke on Twitter. My in my bio it says "wavy haired queen of leggings," and somebody dubbed me that because I do wear leggings almost exclusively. I'm pretty much either in pajamas or leggings. But once in a while, I wear leggings, by the way, because of how comfortable they are. But once in a while, it's not the fabric because all mine are really soft, but just the seams on them. And it's not that they don't fit any different than they did the last time I wore them. Just my body's irritable. So the seams in my clothes, the seams in my shirts can drive me insane. And I know this sounds crazy, but it'll get to the point where my hair hurts. What? I know, doesn't that sound nuts? But what I mean by that, and I can't, this is just my experience with it. Someone else might tell you they might have a different pain experience. Damn it, I didn't mean to use that twice. But when I get like that, and when I turn my head, I can feel the hair moving against my scalp. That's not really painful, but it's weird and it's uncomfortable and I don't like it. But it does, my body will get that ridiculously hypersensitive. And if you're the person that's dealing with all of this, ooh, somebody's in trouble. I'm sure you'll of course I say that I have no idea if that's fire or what. I hope it's not fire. Anyway, if you're the one that has to deal with this, guess what? You are entitled to be pissed off. You are entitled to grieve. You are entitled to rage, but you can't live there. You can't live there. It's not gonna solve anything for you for first of all, and all it's gonna do in my experience, when I give into those unpleasant emotions, I hate to say negative emotions because our emotions do serve a purpose, even the uncomfortable ones. But when I give into those kinds of emotions, it just seems to make the pain worse. It compounds everything. My belief, because I'm focused on the negative, I try so hard to be to focus on the positive because you do get back what you put out there. So, how the hell do you deal with days? Well, you need to find positive influences. There's so many really amazing books out there that are great. I have found several that just really have grounded me and helped me build a foundation of of positivity to build on and to draw from on some of the books that I love. You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Life's Golden Ticket by Brendan Burchard. That is a super easy read. It's a great introduction to personal development work if you haven't done any. 15 Irrefutable Laws of Growth is like, I'm amazed at how much I've gotten into that book. I have taken well over 100 pages of notes in 130 somewhat pages of the book so far. Ha 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 ha. But I do, I love it. If you're dealing with unresolved trauma, which a lot of us with chronic pain, that's where it stems from. There's an amazing book called The Body Keeps the Score that it changed my life. I'll tell you, it's not an or audible. It's it's pretty brutal, but there's a lot of really good information and advice in there. My friend Doug Fitzgerald wrote a great book called One Shot, One Life. I like to draw from that. And of course, there's always the Bible. There's great podcasts out there. Brendan Burchard has a good podcast. Stephanie, I think she's Stephanie Lynn Coaching, even on her podcast. But you know what? It doesn't matter who I like. Find somebody who resonates with you. Find a positive influence. Find something, whether it be a book or a YouTube channel. Above Inspiration is one of my favorite YouTube channels. It's Christian. Stephanie Lynn Coaching. Psych to Go is a fantastic YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, there's one that I love, and I just went totally blank on it. Damn it, and it's super good. But it's about mental health. Trent Shelton put out a lot of really uplifting content. But find somebody that resonates with you and spend a few minutes, even if it's just a day. Spend time, whether it be a podcast, a YouTube channel, a book, put something positive into your life. It it matters. If you want to cope with this stuff better, if you want to learn how to roll with the punches, you know what? You got to develop healthy habits. You've got to exercise. Now, I know, I've been there. In fact, I remember after I got active, one of my friends who has fibro, I was talking to her about it when I'm like, well, you should do yoga and you should go for a walk. And she seriously told me to F off. She didn't want to hear it. And how dare you? And you of all people should know better. And I said, you know what? I do know what I'm talking about. And she's like, well, you do all these crazy workouts. I said, but I'm not asking you to do these crazy workouts. I'm just telling you, you're going to feel a lot better if you do a little bit of yoga and start going for walks. And guess what? I was right. She had to admit, and to her credit, she was mature enough to do it. She's like, yeah, you were right, Court. It made a big difference. You got to move. Just start. Walk, yoga, tai chi, move, do something. Look, if all you can do today is walk to the end of your driveway and back, that's okay. Everybody has to start somewhere. And if you're really unhealthy, hell, you guys, I was so unhealthy at one point, I could barely do 10 minutes on a Wii Fit. That is a child's toy, but that's where I had to start. You've got to move. The physical and emotional benefits that you're going to get from exercise, they're invaluable. They're irreplaceable. You need to meditate. Now, I'll be honest, I've been really dropping the ball on this lately, which is probably a lot of why I'm having anxiety issues. But you know what? There's so many different forms of meditation out there. Find what works for you. There's mantra meditations where you Find a quote or a word that means something to you, and you repeat it over and over. There's guided meditation. I have a love-hate relationship with guided meditations. I find them either really uplifting or it's like, that's a little too hippy-dippy for me. But be open-minded, try different things. Just sit somewhere quietly and focus on your breathing. Go for a walk, leave your music at home. Go for a walk and really focus and be present. What are you seeing? What are you smelling? What kind of colors are around you? What kind of sights are around you, period? Are you feeling a nice warm breeze? Is the sun hot on your skin? Maybe it's a little rainy, but pay attention. The more detail that you can notice, the more present you're going to be, and the more it's going to calm your mind. You need to keep a journal. A journal is such a healthy way, in my opinion, of dealing with uncomfortable and unpleasant emotions. And what I like to do, I'm a pretty upbeat person, so my journal entries aren't too often very negative, but they are sometimes. So if I sit there and just my whole page is in today sucked and I hate the whole world and this person sucks and that person sucks. I always finish it with three things that I'm grateful for. Why? Well, I've just gotten all that negativity off my chest. But for me, that always puts it fresh in my mind. So if I take a second to think of something that I'm great, three somethings that I'm grateful for. I don't know why three is my magic number on that, but it is. It resets my focus. It resets my attention onto something positive. It is one of the biggest, let me restate that, gratitude is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. Gratitude that you think that your life is hunky dory. It does not mean that you don't have area for improvement. Gratitude just means that, things are kind of challenging, but I'm really grateful for the blessings that I have in my life, because you do have blessings in your life. Yes, even when the shit is up to here and you don't feel like you do, I promise. I promise that you do. You know what I always used to rely on when I first started doing that? I had running water, I had electricity, I had a roof over my head. Now, those sound really basic, right? But think about it. We take those for granted terribly, and you shouldn't. Those three things put us ahead of millions of people on this planet, and we're full for those things. You need to celebrate your wins. I don't care how damn small they are. You feel like crap, but you got up and brushed your teeth today. Do you know what? That's a win. You want to know why that's a win? I have a girlfriend who's a dental hygienist, and she told me a long time ago that I would be amazed at how many people never, never brush their teeth. Yes, she's right. I was amazed and horrified. Why would you do that? But if you got up and you brushed your teeth, you're ahead of the people who did not make that choice today. If you're dealing with health issues and you feel like crap, but you got up and you brushed your teeth and you kind of pulled yourself, you're not in the same thing that you slept in. Even if all you did was make it to the couch, if you can spend the afternoon on the couch and have a guilt-free day, that is a tremendous win. You need to celebrate. You know where's a good place to celebrate that stuff? In your journal. You know what? It's good for me, for what helps me. Dressing up, not dressing up. I mean, I don't put on dresses or anything, but dressing nicely, putting my face on. A lot of times I'll put my face on even if I have no plans on going anywhere. Why? A couple of reasons. One, it's a sense of normalcy. Two, it's something I can control. And three, it makes me feel better about it. Maybe. Do I care? No, because it does make me happy. Because it does give me a sense of normalcy. You need to learn to let things go. If you've got all this health crap going on, you need to learn to let things go. You you can't beat yourself up over the things you can no longer do. You know what? Healthy people can't have it all. That is a load of shit, excuse me. That's a load of crap that we sell people. Well, you can have everything. No, you can't. Healthy people can't do it all. Everybody has to make choices. Everything is a choice. Everything is, if I do this, I maybe can't do that. That's life. So don't beat yourself up over the things that you cannot do. You just can't do it. You're going to have to find another way to get them done. And you know what? You got to get rid of negative people. You got to anybody who doesn't lift you up. Look, if you got a lot of health issues, why on earth are you wasting your time on people who don't lift you up? Truly. Now, I will tell you, I'm bad about this, and I'm bad about this because I project. I project onto people to be, not who they are. Well, that's not fair. That's that's putting them in a position they never asked for, and that's actually expecting them to be somebody that most of the time they're not capable of being. That's my big issue. But don't give your power away to crappy people. If you cannot, don't be mean. Please don't be mean to people. But if you can't gently ease them out of your life, you're going to have to set boundaries. And one of the boundaries I recommend is severely curtailing your exposure to those kinds of people. You can't give your power away. You don't have the energy. You can't afford it. That's just the way it is. Finally, you need to remember you got to be kind to yourself. And you know what? You got kind to others too, even when they don't deserve it. Because people who are people who are going to be crappy to you and do things to aggravate your health and you either get it or you don't. You either know exactly what I mean, you have somebody in mind, or you have no idea what I'm talking about. So for those of you who have somebody in mind, they deserve the kindness because they don't know any better. They deserve the kindness because they don't have any skills to be a decent human being. I think that's sad. And yes, that was a very judgmental and bitchy comment, but I'm standing by it because sometimes y'all can be just really crappy. Not that we can't, not that the chronically ill cannot, but you need to remember, the last couple of weeks for me have been freaking brutal. In fact, I I had to make a very tearful phone call this afternoon with something involved with work, and I didn't want to do it, and I had to face it. But you know what? That moment passed. I'm embarrassed. Yes, I'm embarrassed that I lost control of my emotions, but the person I was talking to, she was with the EEO office, so she definitely was very compassionate, which thank goodness for that. But you have to be kind to yourself. You have to understand that it's gonna pass. I have yet to have a flare that does not eventually pass. It might take a while, and it may not be fun at all while it lasts, but they always pass eventually. You need to remember tomorrow really is another day. And finally, I thought I was really good at this until I really started taking a hard look at myself and I realized I'm not good at this at all. You are not your illness. You are not your diagnosis. You are not whatever the hell is going on with all that. It's part of you, certainly. It's probably a really big part of your life. But we can't let this crap become our identity. Because you know what? I hope to God there's a lot more fascinating things about you than whatever your stupid diagnosis is. I know for me, there's a lot of more interesting things about me than my health issues. And but when your whole life is just medical appointment and dealing with all the crap that goes along with it, it's easy to lose your identity. And just I told somebody years ago, I never want to be just the sick chick, you know? Again, that's something you either get it or you don't. But that is all I have for tonight. I genuinely appreciate y'all's time always. So many exciting things out there on the internet. For people to wander into my little quiet corner of the world means a lot to me. So I hope you'll have a great night. I will be back. Today is Wednesday. I had to think about it. I will be back Friday at 5 o'clock Alaska time. Look, I'm not a shrink or anything, but I am somebody who has dealt with chronic pain and serious health issues for, gosh, way too damn long at this point. And I went from being really bitter and angry and negative. And now I'm somebody who people look to because they know I'm positive. They know I'm going to find something to be grateful for, something to be happy about, something I can latch onto to focus on besides all this pain and crap. And if I can do that, anybody can, because there ain't nothing magical about me. I'm a pretty average person trying to figure it all out like everybody else. But you have any questions about this stuff, please drop me a line on Twitter at Alaskan Courtney. I try to be very responsive. I hope you all have a fantastic night, and I will see you Friday. Thanks. Bye.